Hello guys, welcome to RTSC Cbse. Now in continuation with the last class, we will see about this planets in this first lesson of class 6 geography lesson, that is the earth in the solar system. In the previous class, we have discussed up to this solar system and we have seen about in particular about this sun. Now in continuation with that, we will see about this planets. As I told in the previous lecture, planets are those objects which do not emit their own heat and light, but they all are celestial bodies which are part of this solar system. So now in particular we will discuss about this planets. In our solar system, the planets are there are almost 8 planets are there in this solar system. You may ask, sir, previously it was something like 9 planets, now only why 8 planets? For that, I will give you the answer at the end of this lecture. Now, the second thing is that how to remember all these 8 planets. There is a simple trick in remembering all these 8 planets. You can simply remember one line where you can remember all these 8 planets in an order. So, my very efficient mother just served us nuts. My very efficient mother just served us nuts. My here, Mercury, V for Venus, E for Earth, M for Mars, J for Jupiter, S for Saturn, U for Uranus, as well as N for Neptune. So this is how you can actually remember all these 8 planets in this solar system. Then very important thing is that all these 8 planets which I mentioned just now, they all move around the sun in a particular path, or we also call it as in a fixed path. The path in which all these planets are moving around the sun, we call it as orbit. Or you can say, you might have learned saying that planets move around this sun. So the path in which these planets move around the sun, we call it as orbit. Then, which is the nearest planet to this sun? The nearest planet to the sun is that it is Mercury. As I told, my very efficient mother just served us nuts. That the first and the closest planet to the sun is that Mercury. It just takes 88 days to revolve around the sun. You know how many days Earth takes? You all know very well. The Earth takes 365 days and 6 hours to revolve around the sun. But this Mercury, since it is very closest, very near to the sun, it takes just 88 days to revolve around the sun. Next, Venus is known as the Earth's twin. You all know how twins look like. They look almost similar to each other, right? In the same way, the Venus, the second planet, is considered as Earth's twin. Why it is considered as Earth's twin is that because the size, the appearance, the look, everything almost looks similar to this Earth. The size and look and everything, it looks similar to this Earth. So that is the reason why Venus is known as this Earth's twin. Then I told in the beginning there are previously 9 planets are there. How it has become 8 means till 2006 the last planet, 9th planet, Pluto, was actually part of our solar system till 2006. But the size of this Pluto was actually very less, or you can say it is smaller in size. That is why it is now known as this dwarf planet, and now it is no more considered as a planet. Why? Because it is something, there is an international organization, International Astronomical Union, which described saying that after 2006, now the Pluto is no more considered as planet. It is now considered as a dwarf planet. Now we will see about this, in particular about this Earth. In which planet we all are living? You all know that we are living on the planet Earth. So now let us see some of the important facts about this Earth. Where it is there, what is the position of the Earth in the solar system, and what are its unique features compared to all other planets in this solar system. Let us begin. Though the first and foremost important thing is that our Earth, planet Earth, is the 3rd nearest planet to the sun. Just now I mentioned that Mercury, Venus, 3rd one is Earth. So it is the 3rd nearest planet to the sun. Then next thing is when it comes to the size, The size of the earth is, it is the fifth largest planet in the solar system. According to the size, it is fifth largest in the size. Then the shape of the earth is described as something like geoid. Geoid means, for example, if you take any ball like basketball or football, and if you press it in the middle, how it appears. So our earth also looks in the same way. There is a bulge in the middle, and the shape of the earth is known as geoid, which means an earth like shape. Then conditions favorable to the life are only found on this earth. That you all know that throughout this universe, as of now, when people have discovered, the only planet where humans are living is on this earth. Why? Because there is no other planet which supports life. So why it is supporting life? What are the conditions that are favorable for supporting this life? So it is neither too hot nor too cold. When we compare the temperatures, the earth is not very hot, at the same time it is not very cool. So that is the reason why people are living in here. Then next thing is, it has water and air. That means the only planet which has water as well as air are this earth. Then next very important thing is that it has life supporting gases like oxygen. You all know that we are breathing this oxygen. So the only planet where this oxygen is there, it is on this earth. So because of this life supporting gases, because of it is not very hot, because it is not very cool, so because of these reasons, earth has become something like an unique planet in the solar system, or you can say very special planet in the solar system. Why? It is not too hot, it is not too cold, it has water, it has air, it has life supporting gases like oxygen. Then because of these reasons, it has become an unique planet in the solar system, or you can say a very special planet in the solar system. You can see there is no other planet in the solar system where you can find all such kind of conditions. Then very important thing is that earth is also known as something like, we also call it as blue planet. We also call it as blue planet. Why we also call it as blue planet is because from the space, if you ever try to go into the space, and if you look from the space, the earth appears in the blue in color. You can guess the reason why the earth appears blue in color. Why? Because 2/3 of the earth is covered with water. That means almost 71% of the earth is covered with this water. That is why when you go into the space, what you can see is that the earth is in the color of blue. That is why the earth is also known as this blue planet. Now next we will see about this moon. We will talk about this moon, the only satellite for our earth. What is this? What is the distance from moon to the earth, and what are its conditions that are found on this moon? So the only satellite to the earth is this moon. Now you may ask, sir, many scientists are sending satellites. How even moon also sent by humans are? No. The only natural satellites to our earth is moon. Remaining all satellites are sent by our humans. We call it as artificial satellites. But the moon is something like a natural satellite. Then next thing is that the diameter of this moon is almost 1/4 of this earth. That means 1/4 of this earth's size is the diameter of this moon. Then next thing is, what is the distance from moon to earth? In the previous lecture we have seen the distance from sun to the earth. It is almost something like 15 crore kilometers. Now the moon is 3,84,400 kilometers away from the earth. So it is compared to sun, it is very closer to earth. Then it almost takes 27 days to move around the earth. As I told, satellites, natural satellites, one of the natural satellites, only one natural satellite to the earth is moon. This moon, it revolves around the earth. Then how many days it takes to revolve around the earth is it takes 27 days to revolve around the earth. Then at the same time, it even exactly takes the same time to complete one revolution or one rotation on its own. That means rotating on its own, it takes 27 days. At the same time, revolving around the earth also takes 27 days. Because of that, the moon is visible to only one side of the moon is visible to us, just because it is taking 27 days to revolve around the earth. Then it is even taking 27 days to rotate on its own axis. That is the reason we see only one side of the moon. Then you may ask, is it favorable to life? Will it support life? No, it is not favorable to support the life. Why? Because like earth, there is no water there, there is no air there, there is nothing favorable to life. That is why it is not at all supporting this life. But it has mountains, it has plains, and very recently many scientists are doing this research to find a life, or whether it is possible to sustain lives on this moon. So we will talk about these asteroids. What are these asteroids? Where are they are found? The asteroids are the tiny objects which move around the sun, which move around the sun. That means they also have certain fixed path. Where you can find these asteroids are, you can find the asteroids between Mars as well as Jupiter, and only in between Mars and Jupiter you can find these asteroids. Then they are very tiny objects. How they are moving, why they are moving in between this Mars and Jupiter is that scientists feel that once upon a time these tiny objects which are moving between Mars and Jupiter, they may belong to a planet. They may belong to a planet, but due to some reasons, this planet, it might have exploded. So the pieces, the remainings of this planet might be revolving around the sun in between this Mars as well as Jupiter. So these are those objects which are moving around these asteroids. Now the next one is about this meteorites. Meteorites means the small pieces of rocks which are found in the space are known as this meteorites, which also move around the sun. But here for this meteorites there is no fixed path. But for these asteroids, they are found only between Mars and Jupiter. They revolve around the sun. But these meteorites, there is no fixed path for these meteorites. What happened is that sometimes these meteorites may even hit the earth because there is no fixed path. They move in whatever the direction they like. We cannot say in which direction they move. Sometimes in the news you might have seen some of the rocks hitting the earth. These rocks are actually these meteorites. Sometimes they create big hole, sometimes they even carry fire along with them. So the small pieces of rocks which move around the sun are called as these meteorites. Then the next very important thing is about this galaxy. A huge system, or you can say billions of stars and clouds of dust together, we call it as this galaxy. And there are some millions of galaxies are there. And the galaxy in which you can find our solar system is this Milky Way. Why we are calling it as Milky Way is that if you go into the space and if you look the place where our solar system is there, it appears like the milk flowing in the sky. That is the reason they have given the name known as Milky Way galaxy, where we also call Indians, we also call it as Akash Ganga. That means the Ganga flowing in the space. Then like Milky Way galaxy, there are some millions of galaxies which makes this universe. First, galaxy means a huge billions of stars and clouds of dust, and these galaxies are again, there are some millions of galaxies are there which makes the universe, and still no one knows what is the size of this universe. Still scientists are trying to find out some of the interesting facts about this universe. So in the next class we will discuss about the topic number 2 of this class 6 geography. Thank you.